Not him clocking my Uber when I just rolled you around for free and you didn't give me no type of gas money.
Back up on the move, touchdown in my hometown, got nothing to lose. I am on my own now, I am in control now. I need you to go now, I can fix my own crown. Back up on my boots.
Hey y'all, it's TheBreeze and you plugged into the Breeze lifestyle. Thank you so much for clicking on this video, and if you want to support your girl some more, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. If you want to see some more of your girl, you already know what you can do. You can follow me on IG at TheBreeze Lifestyle 777. And y'all, look at this. TheBreeze got a new wig. What y'all like it from the front or from the back? Pause, don't be nasty. But I think I like it in the front. I thought I liked it more in the back, but I'm thinking it's giving show me off. If you want to see me install this, I'm about to say install this video. If you want to see me install this wig, go ahead, and I gotta figure out, I don't know if I can link stuff down. I know I can, but I don't know if I know how. But either way, go to the playlist, go to the channel. It don't take that much, but y'all, so if you like the look, you know what I'm gonna ask you. A fave, sis. Go ahead and give me a orange heart, a orange fruit, whatever. If you like the look, let your girl know, friend. All right, so we're gonna get into this video. I'm real cute. I feel like I'm real cute. I don't know. And it don't matter what anybody else think. If you think you cute, baby, it's cute. Okay. Well, sometimes. But anyway. So this video is going to be a story time, and it's going to be about the worst date ever. Now, I do have another date that kind of, one of the worst dates ever. I'll say that because I got another story time for y'all. And this is Vlogmas. I don't know. I'm bulk recording, so I don't know if this is going to be the first one. I got another one in mind for the first one, but we'll see. It is September 26th. So yeah, I'm starting early because I'm not going to be able to give y'all one video a week. I mean, one video a day. But every other day, your girl's coming hard. That's the plan. So, yeah. We trying to get to 1K before January 1st, period. So, all right. So, this is going to be the worst date ever. Like, so you already know I got to set the scene for you. So, this is back when I want to say, I was real fresh to Atlanta. I want to say a year. But at the same time, I don't think it was even a whole year that I was down here. But I was definitely doing Uber. And if you see my other Uber video, you would have thought that I would have learned my lessons. Because I think that was before this. But, yeah, no, actually, I'm lying. This was actually before. Because I know after that whole... Y'all, go watch that video. It was crazy. After all of that happened, it was like... never again. So I know this had to be first. And y'all, if you see my lashes shifting, keep it between us, okay? I'm trying. I told y'all I was gonna dress up and be a little more cute for y'all. And it's child, it is not easy for me to do this. But I do it for y'all because I love y'all. But all right, so anyway, I'm doing Uber and I picked this dude up. We're gonna name him... I don't care. We're going to name him where he from. We're going to name him New York. He from New York. And it was like, yeah, I wanted to deal with Atlanta dudes, but I also was open to dating other type of dudes. And I fall in love with an accent, y'all. I love a good accent, whether it's a Southern accent, New York accent, a British accent. Whatever. It's just like, I don't know. It do something to me. So this dude got my car, New York. And, you know, I'm just like, you know, having a little conversation with him. And it's not like, not trying to toot my own horn, beep, beep. But it's not foreign for a dude that I'm doing Uber with to try to talk to. It's not foreign for a dude who I'm doing Uber with or who I pick up doing Uber to try to talk to me. So we just have a conversation. And I'm also the type of girl that's just going to converse with you, especially if we're going on a 20-30 minute ride. Now, I remember this was like a 40-minute ride because I wasn't really used to this Atlanta living or Georgia living where everything is 45 to an hour away. So I remember specifically this ride was like 45 minutes. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I got music on, but at the same time, I'm still going to converse with you. How you doing? You know, whatever. So I seen that this dude was going to the dealership. So I'm like, okay. So he brought it up like,
yeah, shorty, I just moved down here. I'm going to get me a car. I'm going to get me an Audi. Like, yeah.
and it was like 20. So if I've been here for 8 years, this was about the first year. So it was like 2016, 2017, right? So he was talking about he was going to buy that year car. And I'm like, okay, you know, he was like,
yeah, shorty, I just moved down here from New York and I'm ready to be out here styling and profiling. I'm doing an internship with T.I. Yeah, I'm doing big things in the A. What you be doing?
Uber. At the time, I wasn't really doing nothing. Like, I really wasn't doing nothing. I was studying for my real estate exam, so I wasn't a realtor yet, but I was doing like little gigs and stuff like that, but nothing really noticeable. So what I used to do is fall back on what I used to do back home. Yeah, I used to work for Chase. Yeah, and then I moved down here. So I just thought that meant something. You know, I just was embarrassed that I really didn't have nothing really going on. And this man about to go get a 2016 Audi. So he's really intimidating me a little bit because, I don't know. I was just not used to not really having nothing going, not having a job. Like, I didn't really have a job. And I didn't want him to think that I was just doing Uber. So I'm telling him, you know, like about my real estate and stuff like that. He's like,
oh, yeah, I'm going to have to hire you as my real estate agent because I'm going to definitely be getting a house down here soon.
I'm like, okay, so he's talking big cash. He's talking big money, big dreams, big things. And it's like, to me, it seemed like everything was in motion. So I'm like, all right, cool. So we just having a nice little conversation or whatever. And then I drop him off. So as I'm about, because when I do my Uber, the GPS, like, it go through the speakers too. That's why kind of having music on is pointless because the music is keep getting interrupted by turn left, turn right, and 400 feet, make a U-turn, because I went the wrong way, you know? So it's just like, why not have a conversation? So, and I feel like for me, that makes time go by even faster. So we just talking or whatever, and he realized like we pulling up close to the dealership. So he was like,
we had a really great conversation. I would love to get your number, shorty. Is that cool?
So I'm like, yeah. Yeah, you got my number. So I gave him my number, dropped him off, and that was that. So as soon as he got done, it took him about like 2 or 3 hours to reach out to me. And he was like,
hey, shorty, you still around this way? I need a ride back home.
So I like, why he need a ride back home if he getting a 2016 Audi? He should be scooping me up because I had a little Toyota Corolla. And I'm like, no, I'm not around anymore because he was far out the way. Like I said, 45 minutes from where I was. And I was still doing Uber and I'm not about to stop what I'm doing to come pick you up. Like, no. He was like, no problem. Well, I definitely want to get to know you more. And I would love to take you out on a date. So I'm like, okay. Like, this is the time where I have been stopped dealing with my baby dad, aka Finesse, but it's like I really didn't have good motion. Like the dudes that I was dealing with, and it's a little touchy talking about dudes from my hometown because I mean, my baby daddy, I don't really care, but the other dudes, they didn't really do me wrong. They just wasn't really on nothing. Like they and I come from a small town and I just don't want to do it. But anyway, I just really didn't have a good dating life. So I'm looking at this dude like, okay, he kind of just like me, moving from his hometown, moved to Atlanta, and he on to big things. So I'm like really excited about this. I'm really excited, but I'm like, all right, cool. So I didn't have a real job. So I really had the schedule of I'm taking my baby to school and he went to it wasn't daycare, but it was, what is it, preschool? Yeah, he was in preschool. So he still was getting off around 4 o'clock or whatever. So I'm like, I have free time from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. After that, I'm really home with my baby. You know, and I could have dated outside of that or done stuff outside of that, but I really try to do things during the daytime because it's like, I don't know you. Like, I don't know you. So we ended up planning to do something. And then he was like, let me take you out. I got this spot or whatever. I want to take you. So I'm like, okay. And he just kept talking about how he was an intern for T.I. and how he real cool with T.I. because his stepdad is real cool with T.I. His stepdad got him a job. And I'm just like, okay. And I'm at this point right now, this Breeze would not care about T.I., Drake, Kendrick. Like, I don't care who you know at this point because I already know how things go. Because always say they know people when really you the entourage's entourage. Like, you don't really know people. You just might got a picture with them, but you don't really know them. Like, it ain't really that. I done been in Atlanta long enough to know it ain't really that, period. So, either way, even if it was that, I really wouldn't care. But that Breeze, 2016 Breeze, I was hyped. Because it's like, I'm from Delaware. I'm from Delaware. This is Javier. Hey, y'all don't know that. Anyway. Anyway, so I'm from Delaware. I never really seen no celebrity, for real, no real big celebrity besides like Powerhouse. But to have somebody who actually knows them and works for them, it's like, okay, all right, let's see what's going on there. So he wanted to take me to some restaurant or whatever. I forgot exactly what the name was, but it wasn't T.I. restaurant. It was some rapper restaurant that he knew about, blah, blah, blah. Because he started to say like he knew all these rappers. Like, I say a good 5 rappers he said that he knew. So I'm like, all right, cool. Like, I'm down for that. So anyway, let's just fast forward to the date. The date happened, I want to say that was like the weekend. And the date happened, like, let's say, y'all, it was so long ago. I don't know if it was a Tuesday or a Wednesday or Thursday. But I know it wasn't a Friday. I know it wasn't a Monday. I know it was sometime in the middle of the week. And we, like, planned it on, like, a Monday. He was like, okay, are you free on this day? I'm like, yeah, I'm cool. So, let's say it was Thursday, right? So, Wednesday night, he was like,
are we still good for tomorrow?
And I'm like, yeah, what time was you trying to link up? And he was like,
actually, I have to do something else to get my car. Did you mind coming to pick me up?
Okay. Yeah, I did that. I'm like, sure. And then I asked him, like, what's going on? And he was like,
I just need to drop something else off. So if you could just take me to the dealership, then we can go out.
So I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm like, what time do you want me to meet you? He like,
what's the earliest you can do?
I'm like, I'm already going to be up. So if you want to do it like a breakfast type of thing, like we can go to brunch or, you know, whatever. So he was like,
all right, how about 10 o'clock?
So I'm like, all right, cool, 10 o'clock. Because I'm thinking he's just going to drop something off. Then we're going to go get some breakfast. Because the restaurant, like, it was I don't want to say a dual restaurant, but it had breakfast and lunch and dinner. Like, they had all types of stuff. So I'm like, all right, cool. And if you know me, you know I love a big back breakfast. And I'm like in between when it comes to eating in front of dudes. Like, I'm not about to be picking at no salad, but I'm not going to do like a burger. Well, I don't know. I might cut the burger in 4. But it's like, I'm going to eat, period. Like, I'm just going to be cute while I eat, but I'm going to eat what I eat. So, anyway, so he's like, all right, cool. So I go. First of all, I always confirm. So in the morning, I woke up, took my baby to school, came back, got dressed. And I'm asking him, like, because he lived a good 35 minutes away from me. So I'm like, are we still good for 10 o'clock? He like,
yeah, I'm ready now. I'm ready when you're ready.
So I get there probably like a little after 10. I told him I was outside. He comes outside. So I'm not even worried about like gas money. I'm not, because I'm thinking that this is big baller shot caller. He gonna take care of it. You know, it is what it is. So again, the dealership is 45 minutes away from where he lived. So, and it's not even like Atlanta is not where, okay, well, if we driving 45 minutes from where he lived and he lived 30 minutes away from you, then you probably be closer to your house. No, I'm further. Now I'm like an hour and a half, hour 15 from my house. So it's like, okay, cool. We didn't even get to the restaurant. So anyway, y'all, I take this man to the dealership. I'm sitting in the car, and he like, first he was like,
Do you want to come in?
I'm like, nah, I'm good. Like, cause I'm thinking you just about to drop something. That's what you said. You gonna drop something off and bring it back. So I'm thinking you just doing that. And you already know it wasn't that. I sat in that dealership parking lot for 1 hour. 1 hour later.
1 hour later.
And I'm like, okay. So I'm texting him at the 30-minute mark. I'm texting him like, is everything okay? He was like,
Yeah, I'm just waiting on my person to come.
I guess the person that he was dealing with the first time, he was waiting for him to come. So I'm like, okay. So an hour later, he comes outside. And he's like,
I'm so sorry it's taking so long. He's still just putting the numbers together, and I might be able to drive off the lot today with my Audi, and I'm just trying to get it. I hope you understand.
I'm like, yeah, no problem. But I'm irritated because I don't want to be here. Like, I don't want to be here doing this. I thought we was going to get something to eat. I'm hungry. So anyway, at this point, it's almost 12 o'clock. And after he came back, I'm telling y'all, 30 minutes later, he was still in there. So then he comes out, maybe like 15, a whole 45 minutes went by, right? He comes out, and I could tell, like, his vibe is just off. Like, something happened. Something went wrong. So I'm like, what's going on? He like,
No, it's nothing. It's just taking longer than I expected because I'm not from here.
and I'm like, I don't know, because I drove my car from Delaware to Georgia. So I don't know how it is to get a car. He like,
I got my New York ID. Shouldn't be a problem, but they're making a big deal out of it.
So I'm like, okay, well, you know, you still wanted to go get something to eat. Well, I didn't really ask if you still wanted to go get something to eat because your girl is hungry. I don't care if you wanted to get something to eat or not. I'm hungry. Where are we going? Do you know the address? Like, so when I asked him, you know, okay, so I think I asked him like, okay, where are we going now? Because I didn't directly say like, where's the restaurant? What we doing? So I asked him, sorry, y'all. So I'm like, all right, where we going now? And he was like,
Do you mind taking me back to my house? It's something else that I gotta bring to them.
do I mind taking you back to your house and then coming back here? Yes, I mind. But did I say that? No. I'm being a pick-me at this point because I'm doing everything this ninja is asking me to do. And I'm like, okay, like, no problem. So, wait, what's going on? So now, before I leave this parking lot, I need to know what's going on because your girl is hungry. So now I got to drive 45 minutes back and then 45 minutes back. And it's like, the time is wasting. So he like, you know, I thought that I only needed this. I can't remember exactly what he needed, y'all. But basically he's saying when he brought something up there, he thought that he just needed that, but he needed something else. So he like,
I do apologize. I'm really trying to get this car. I promise, like, we're gonna go out to eat right after this.
or whatever. So I'm like, all right. And mind you, like, the conversation is good. Like, we having a good time. Oh, and then I mentioned, like, y'all, he was fine. Like, he on the scale of 1 to 10, he was a good 8. He was a solid 8. He had his little waves. He had his New York swag. He could dress. And he was fine. He was fine. So I was a little, what's the word? I was a little hypnotized. I don't know. It's another word I'm looking for, but it was a blur. Like, it was, I couldn't really see all the red flags because I was blinded by his looks and the way that he talked. So I took my mans back to his house. I did. And we was just talking and having a good conversation. Then I took him on back to the dealership. Yep, I did that. I did that. It's by the time we get back to the dealership, it's like 1:30, 2 o'clock. Mind you, I gotta be back by 4. So I wasn't really putting 2 and 2 together until we were sitting in that dealership for another 35 minutes. And I just knew that he was just gonna drop something off. He was gonna go something to eat. Because as we was driving back to the dealership, that's when it started like 2 and 2 started being 4. I'm like, dang, like, I gotta see how far it is for me to get home because I don't think I'm gonna have too much time. We might have to go pick something up and I'll just take it home with me. But y'all, guess what? Guess what? He sat in that dealership for another 35 minutes, like I said, and then he came back out and he was like,
they trying to get a hold of the bank. I don't know what's going on.
And I'm just like, at this point, I'm like, I gotta get my baby by 4 o'clock. And I GPS'd it. I'm an hour away. I'm an hour away from my house. So it's like, there's no way for me to really, like, yeah. So guess what he said? Guess what he said?
It's okay, shorty. We could just reschedule the date and I'll just Uber home.
What? Reschedule the date and you just Uber home? What about Rolly, which is my car? What about her? She's struggling. I was gonna have a tank. Now I'm a little less than a quarter. Like, what about us? So this is when I really didn't ask for anything from dudes. So I didn't ask him for anything, but he didn't offer it either. Like, he didn't offer to give me gas money after I just rolled him around the world twice. He just was saying that he'll Uber back home. And he was just apologetic. So I'm like, okay, all right. Guess I'm going home. So I went and picked my baby up, never asked for gas money, and it just was what it was. So that was our first date. Yeah. So the next day, he was like, you know, he was going to be at the dealership. Like, he was like, well, he texted me and let me know that it still didn't work out for him. He still didn't have the car. So I'm like, all right, well, when do you actually want to go out to the restaurant? Because, yeah, I'm still hungry. Nah, I stopped and got something to eat on the way home. But it's like, I still was interested in the man. So I'm like, all right, well, when did you want to go on a date? And he was like, well, I'm trying to get this all figured out on Friday. So let's go out on Saturday. So I'm like, okay, cool. Asked my mom to watch my baby on Saturday, and everything was fine. We said we was going to go out on Saturday. So I'm like, all right, what time you trying to go out? He was like, we can do 2 o'clock. I'm like, all right, cool. So he changes up the restaurant that he wants to go to, and he sends me the address for the restaurant that he wants to go to. And y'all not gonna, mind you, I'm the type of person who looks at the menu before I go. Like, I want to see the menu. I want to see what I'm going to eat. I want to already know what I'm going to order. He changes up the restaurant to Olive Garden. And no shade, no tea, but I don't want Olive Garden. So I called him and I'm like, hey, like, what happened to the restaurant that we were supposed to go to? He was like,
yeah, I thought the chef that I knew was going to be there. I called in. He not going to be there. So it's like, I don't even really want to go if my chef not going to be there.
So I'm like, okay. I finally started speaking up for myself. I don't want Olive Garden. Like, I don't like Olive Garden. So he was like,
okay, well, shorty, no problem. Where you want to go?
So I'm like, I don't know. Let me think about it. He was like,
all right, I know another place. I'm going to send you another address. I know another place. But I'm getting dressed right now. I'll call you back.
I'm like, okay. Y'all, guess what the other place was? And guess who said okay? TGI Fridays. So he was like, we go to TGI Fridays. So I'm like, okay. Now, mind you, he literally lived right by TGI Fridays. And I probably was a good 30, 35 minutes from TGI Fridays. Because like I said, he lived right there. So no shade, no tea. Like I said, my dating experience is not the best. But first day at TGI Friday, like, I wanted to do something else. Like, I was cool with going to a celebrities restaurant because I never been there before. But like, when I first moved to Atlanta, I didn't want to go to no restaurants that I had back home because I felt like that was pointless. Like, I want to go to places that I've never been before. I want to go to places that, like, are not in Delaware. So when he said TGI Friday, I almost said no, but then I thought about the Cajun pasta with the breadsticks, and then I thought about the mozzarella sticks, and I'm like, you know what? Cool. Like, we can go to TGI's. It is what it is. And then, you know, hopefully his chef be around next time, and then we'll go to, you know, whatever. So we go to TGI Fridays, and he's waiting in his car for me because obviously he's like 5 minutes away, and I'm hella far. So he's waiting in his car for me, and I'm like driving. He was like,
It's a parking spot right next to me.
so I'm driving around trying to find an Audi. Because, y'all, he got the car. He got a car. I'm trying to find an Audi. I don't see one. So I call him. I'm like, hey, like, I don't see your car. You know, what color is your car? He's like,
Oh, it's black.
so I drive around again, and I don't see a black Audi. And I'm like, you're at the TGI Fridays on Camp Creek? And he was like,
Yeah. I'm in a black Infinity.
like, oh. Because it's like, I seen that car. Now, I'm okay with, like, the logos. And I think it was an Infinity. It's like, whatever. It was Infinity. So, I'm like, oh, what happened to the Audi? I don't know why it just, like, it came out like that. But I really was confused because he was talking about that Audi so bad. I'm like, oh, what happened to the Audi? He was like,
Man, they didn't have the one I wanted. I was not about to settle for no just old Audi. I wanted a 2016. They ain't have it, so I just got this for now.
whatever. Now, mind you, the Infinity probably was like 2011. Like, it was old. Like, I mean, it wasn't a bad looking Audi, but it was not new. Like, you made it seem like you don't play with your cars and whatever. So I should have known that this ninja was just capped. Like, he capped me down, like capping down. Like, okay. So we get into TGI Fridays. Yo, I'm sorry. I'm just thinking. We get into TGI Fridays. Long story short, like, we're gonna make this nice and quick. I'm sorry, y'all, because you already know TheBreeze got a 9 to 5, and I gotta clock in about 10-15 minutes. So we get to TGI Fridays, and we eat. I got what I wanted. We shared some boneless wings. I like the General Toast ones, so we got those, and we got some mozzarella sticks, and we shared them. I got the Rasta pasta, so I got the Cajun pasta, extra breadsticks, extra sauce, and I think he got like a burger or something. No. He actually got the sizzly. He got the chicken and shrimp sizzly. So, and then we both had like 2 drinks. I'm just like, you know, the average price. The bill probably came out to like 100, 120, right? So the lady was like, because you be thinking people playing and they be so serious, like they do it as a joking way to see what you want to do. So I guess because I was just willing to do everything that he said to do, like he was just, anyway, I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. So the lady asked us, you know, was we good or whatever, and we was like, yeah, you know. He was like, yeah, you can bring the check. So I'm like, you know, for me, like, if I'm on a date, I'm not even worried about the check. But it's like usually people don't ask for the check until they like ready to go. So I thought we was in mid conversation. We still, you know, eating on our food or whatever. He was like, yeah, you can bring the check. So I'm like, okay. So she brings the check and she didn't even ask if it was separate or not, which was surprising. But I guess because he's the one who asked for the check, it was like she just assumed it was going to be all together. So she brings the check. She puts it on the table near him. So once she leaves, he's like,
You got me, babe?
now mind you, I've been shorty this whole time. Now he kind of slid it my way and was like, you got me, babe? And I was a little lit because back in the day I used to puff pass. And I was puff no passing on my way to the date. So I'm like, you crazy. That's it. Like, I'm just, you crazy. He was like,
No, for real. Like, you know, I just had to get this car. You know, just had to put $2,500 down on it. You know, I got you. Like, but I just, you know, I ain't expect it to be this high. You know.
so I'm like, I kind of snapped out of it a little bit. I'm like, you serious? And he was like,
Yeah. Like, come on now.
The bitch was too stunned to speak. Like, I didn't know what to say, but I knew I ain't had no money to pay that bill. I knew I ain't have it. I didn't even have my half, for real. I'm just being honest. Like, I didn't have my half. I probably had about $40 in my bank account. Just being real. And that ain't my half, for real. Well, no, because if I put both of my drinks on there, plus half or one of the appetizers and my meal, like, I ain't got it. And I was like, what? I'm like, I had to ask again. I'm like, are you serious? And he was like,
Yes, babe, I'm serious.
he kept begging me. And I'm like, why you didn't say that before we got here? Like, I was not prepared for this. I was not prepared. And he was like,
Girl, you know you be doing Uber and stuff. I just didn't get my check yet. I spent all my money on the car.
and I'm like, not him clocking my Uber when I just rode you around for free and you didn't give me no type of gas money. That was my Uber money. That was the Uber money. You spent it all. Like, what? So I'm like, I don't know. So I'm like, let me check my account, knowing damn well I ain't got it. So I'm like, you know what? Like, I don't know. So I'm just thinking to myself, like, what should I do? I'm like, I'm not about to just be like, let me go to the bathroom, because it's just too easy. Like, he gonna know, like, if I try to go to the bathroom, it's like where we was sitting, you could see, like, you couldn't see the back. Okay, let's say we're sitting right here. The bathroom is right here. The front door is right here. So if I say, let me go to the bathroom, and he see me go this way, I mean, I could have probably squared it and went all the way around the bar, and, you know, I probably could have, but I was put on the spot. So I'm like, I don't know. I might have some cash. Do you have any money? And he was like,
Let's see what you got first.
let's see what I got first. Like, why? Why we gotta see what I got first? Like, why we can't just see what you got first and go from there? Like, so I didn't feel bad after I made this next move. I didn't feel bad. I'm like, all right, I might have some cash in the car. Let me go check or whatever. But I'm like, you know, I still have food. So I'm like, damn, I'm not done eating. Mind you, when you be puffing on trees, sometimes your stomach just feel like it's everlasting. So I'm not done my pasta, and I know I can't, like, be like, let me get my to-go stuff first and then go to the car. So I'm like, all right, I'll go to the car, but let me finish my food first or whatever. He like,
All right, it's no rush. Babe.
so I finished my food, I'm finishing my drink, you know, I'm just playing it cool, just thinking to myself, like, This nigga got me chopped and screwed. If you really think, first of all, I'm about to see you again after this. And if you really think I'm about to pay for this food. So I'm eating my food. I probably left just a little bit. I ain't leave no scrimps behind. I ain't no scrimps left behind, period. But I ate most of my food and I left a little bit left and I drank my whole drink. So I'm like, all right, cool. Let me go ahead and check to see, because I don't really carry purses. I just had like a little wristlet or whatever. So I had my wristlet on my arm, make sure my bag is secure. Gotta take my keys because I gotta go to the car. So I'm walking I'm like, all right, let me go see or whatever. Let me see what I got. So he like,
All right, come right back.
so, and it's so funny that he said, come right back. He must have been reading my mind. And that made me, you know, when you be thinking so hard. And I thought to myself, like, is he reading my mind? So I'm like, all right, let me walk out here real slow. Not real slow, but let me not run out here like I was thinking about doing. Let me walk out here slow or whatever. So I'm like, yeah, I'm coming right back. So I walk out there, get in my car, vroom, vroom on 1100. I'm gone. Like, what did you think? I don't know what happened to that man after that, because he kept calling my phone. I think he seen me drive away. I think he had to see me drive away, because he kept calling my phone, and I just let it ring, let it ring, let it ring, gotta let it ring. Y'all, I let that phone ring, and then once I got home, because he was texting me too, blocked them. Who do you think that I am? And that's why it's like, you can be nice, but to an extent, because these ninjas will take your kindness for weakness. Why did he order all that stuff? We ordered about the same amount of food. And I could be wrong. People might look at me like, well, you ain't even have your half. Yeah, but I feel like off the rip, a woman believes if you ask her on a date, it's going to be for the free. So if there's anything that is changing from that, you should let that be known before we get there. Especially if you're thinking on the first date that I'm going to pay for you. Us? We ain't in friends. And I'm not your bae. Nigga, I'm TheBreeze and I'm gone. Like with the wind, okay? Yo, I didn't feel bad about it. I never had to do that before, but I just knew, like, I'll probably say, I ain't gonna lie to you, the way that he was talking, like, because once I left, I'm putting everything together. I'm like, this ninja ain't on nothing for real. Like, that's probably not even his car, because it didn't look new. That's probably your mama car, because he was living with his mama. He just moved to. So, I'm like, if I did have the money, I probably would have paid for it. I probably would have paid for it and probably would have been out that money. But I'm kind of glad that I didn't have the money, because on 1100, I was gone, y'all. I don't know what happened to him. I'm pretty sure he had the money. He just didn't want to spend the money. So if he didn't have the money, I'm sorry, y'all. I don't feel bad about it. I don't feel bad about it. It is what it is. But yeah, so that was the worst day ever, because first of all, the first day, you had me driving you around, knowing I make my money doing Uber, knowing that, like, I told you I was trying to get my real estate license or in the process of getting my real estate license, but I didn't say that I did anything else besides Uber. So you knew this how I get my money, and you didn't give me no gas money. You didn't give me no money for the rides. But you want to pay a stranger to get you home. And then we meet to go out to eat, and you want me to foot the bill after you seen that I'm a little lit. You think I'm just going to give it to you? And then you probably was going to want some cootie cat after that. I'm sure. Because he was talking a little freaky. Just a little bit. Just a smidge. Not too much, but he shouldn't have been mentioning none of that. None of that. He shouldn't have been saying none of that. So, yeah, y'all. Don't listen to the hype. Watch the action, period. And this is cut. It's a wrap, y'all. So I think I am going to make this my first video. Yeah, I think I'm going to make this my first video. So October 1st, this should be up. If I did it if you see this on October 1st, or if you see that it's posted on October 1st, do me a favor and put a 1 in the chat, because your girl trying to make it to 1K before my birthday, which is January 11th. So January 1st, y'all, I want to look at my Instagram. I want to look at my YouTube, and I want to see 1K. Can y'all do that for me? I believe y'all can, because you already know we locked in. All right, y'all. It's TheBreeze. You've been plugged in, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.